I was recently offered this £2,000 race engine for a fraction of the price.
But of course, there is a catch. This engine has a mystery problem that might be costly to fix. So to find out, we're going to tear it down and see what's wrong with it.
So this engine came out of a rally car, and just as they were finishing up one of their stages, it started misfiring and cut out as it went across the line. Now they pulled one of the spark plugs out and found that it had a missing tip, which is bad news. They simply pulled the engine, put it to the side and put in their spare. So we might have a deal here, or we might just have someone else's junk.
So why do I even want this engine? Well, last year I bought someone else's project car, this BMW E36, which I wanted to turn it into a touring car inspired track car. I fixed most of its issues and now I want to upgrade the engine, but that could cost thousands. So when I was offered this potentially valuable engine upgrade for cheap, I took it.
We've got genuinely no idea what's wrong with this engine, but the first thing we're going to do is check the spark plugs and find the reason that they got rid of this engine.
The first 3 spark plugs all looked okay, but when we got to cylinder 4, we discovered something very worrying.
Ooh, that is missing one of the tips. That's not a good sign.
That bit that's missing, it's not out here, it's in there somewhere, and that's not good.
Luckily, the 5th spark plug was also okay, but the final spark plug was where things got really worrying.
Ooh, that is 2 chunks of metal in the engine.
But why is this even a problem? Well, the tolerances in an engine are so tight that if something that shouldn't be there enters the combustion chamber, when the piston comes up, there's nowhere for it to go. And in just seconds, it can totally destroy an engine.
In the best case scenario, when the spark plug tips broke off, the exhaust valves happened to be open and they simply went straight down the exhaust before causing any damage. But when the valves are opening and closing 50 times a second if the engine was running hard, the likelihood of this happening is nearly impossible.
Now some of you might know what this engine is. It's just a BMW 2.8 engine from an E36. Not that expensive and not that special, about £600–700. But this race team prepared it for their rally car by fully porting and polishing the head, around about a cost of £2,000. Porting and polishing essentially refers to opening up this hole and making the flow of the air coming in and out of the engine more efficient.
Where it divides is much sharper. So like, if you think of air as like water, if water's splashing up against a bigger rounded surface, you're going to get more turbulence, the air is going to be going everywhere. Whereas when it's nice and sharp like that, the air is going to flow way better. So this should be a nice head if there's no real damage to it.
And that's what matters here. The block we can find for £200 or £300, but the head is the big thing.
Having now confirmed that the issue the rally team told us about was the case, we moved on to our next bit of investigating.
I want to drop the oil and see if that metal's been clanging around in there for a while. Some of it might have made its way into the oil and contaminated it. And that is at least my go-to for any issue with an engine internally. Drop your oil because you can tell quite a lot from it. So there's so little oil in here that I think they probably have dropped the oil at some point, because there's no way there would be this little oil. There isn't anything too metallic in there. The oil looks pretty fresh, not too dark in colour. That's a good sign. You wouldn't expect to see anything too metallic flaky, because that would be the bearings breaking down inside the engine, whereas what we were looking for is any chunks, big chunks of metal from those spark plug tips. We might have got lucky and they might have made it out through the exhaust valves. We can only hope. It's whether there's damage inside the engine. So we're gonna have to tear down the engine now.
So I started pulling off the rocker cover.
Ooh, looking clean in there.
Everything looked in order under the rocker cover, so to dig even deeper, we used a small camera on a wire called a boroscope to get an initial look inside the actual cylinders.
These are really good.
What's up guys? I'm filming on my endoscope right now. I'm currently inside my own ass. It says specifically on the instructions,
No bodies.
not for the body. He looks very clean in there. Very clean.
This is good. That's what we liked here.
So there is a bit of damage there.
Don't like to see that.
Another bit there again.
Yeah. So cylinder 1, not the worst.
He has got a very similar mark to what was on 1.
Okay, so perhaps that might be factory.
I think number 2 is clear. Also looks clean. There is... There's a piece of microfiber in there.
That is a piece of microfiber. Okay, so 3, which was one of the worrying ones, we look okay on.
Is this one of our No, this isn't. What is going on there? That's not what the others look like. Oh, okay, sorry, I was, it's these like raised bits of the piston, that's normal then.
Why did you do that to me?
Sorry, I'm gonna call that semi-clear.
Okay, nothing that looks block ending yet.
Okay, same mark, but no real damage I can see. Give her a twirl. It looks happy.
5 for 5 so far, and it may be being okay. If this is okay, our block might be safe.
This was missing the most electrodes as well, right?
If the piston's dead, the block might be game over. The head might be gone as well.
Ooh, there is...
Don't ooh.
There is some damage on that one that I can see. Here, there's a bit of damage. We've also got here as well.
Those might be parts of that spark plug tip.
This one here looks like a spark plug tip. This bit here, I'm not sure about.
Time to get this head off. Tearing down this engine is thirsty work, but thankfully for us, this week's sponsor is Holy, which means dehydration isn't going to be an issue.
Holy's drinks are a healthy and low-calorie alternative to traditional energy drinks.
Now, Holy recently sent us another one of their starter set deluxe kits, which has some of the most popular flavours from their 3 main lines: Holy Energy, Holy Hydration, and Holy Iced Tea. And this is all that's left. Empty boxes. We all enjoy it in the unit so much, we always keep a fresh stock up on the top.
I've recently been enjoying this Raspberry Raptor flavour from the Holy Energy line. Now this gives me just the kick I need to keep on working on our crap old fleet of cars.
And I can't have caffeine, so I prefer the Holy Hydration line. They've sent out strawberry and kiwi last month, and as you can see, there's not much left in it. I've been working my way through. Ben, behind the camera, likes the iced tea line, so he's been getting through the honey melon and green tea flavour.
Making it couldn't be easier. All you have to do is pour a scoop of powder into your Holy shaker, fill it up with 500 ml of water, give it a shake, and you've got a healthy, tasty drink.
What's better is that there's no artificial colours or flavours, it's 20 calories per serving, and each 500 ml serving works out at less than 80 pence.
To get started, you can try one of Holy's starter sets where you get 14 sachets with 7 of their best flavours, so you can find out which one you like best.
And once you know which flavour you like, you can get a big old tub that has 50 servings inside of it.
So make sure you use code TDC5 for £5 off your first order.
And then use code TDC for 10% on any order thereafter.
With a few worrying signs inside the combustion chambers, we needed to take a closer look, so we prepped the head to be removed.
To do the head off, where do we need to go? We're quite familiar with them. We know them quite well.
I'm actually confused.
Who are we about to visit?
Top dead centre.
Very
It's
good,
bloody
Ben.
top dead centre.
Ben just outcard you. So the next thing we need to do is now pull off the Vanos solenoid. This is quite an annoying job. And what this is BMW's VTEC. What it does is it more gently crosses over. So Honda has a pin that slots through and engages a new, bigger camshaft, which is why you hear a really cool crossover noise, if you could demonstrate. That was F20.
No, I might be from Swindon.
That was... Whereas BMW has a curved gear, so it engages gently, so you don't have as big of a... So, we got to get that guy off. Lovely. What shape would you say that is, Taylor? How would you describe the gasket for that?
That is the shape of a penis.
Vanos gear removed, it was time to remove the timing chain gears and tensioners, but that would involve using some specialist tools.
That's spanner.com. I'm about to crack off the nuts on a 747 with this.
This is the other tensioner. You can see that little piece of plastic there. That's pushing on the chain, and if you undo it, the tension comes off. There you go. Now he releases.
Chain and gears out of the way, Edwin removed the cam caps.
Right, we're going to do the cam caps. These need to be taken off in an interesting order because these cams are very brittle.
Caps now off, I discovered something that wasn't so great, but that reminded me of an interesting mod that I have planned for this engine.
That's not too bad,
That's not bad, is it? You can feel it with your finger, but these camshafts ain't staying.
Who's going in there? None.
M3 camshafts, but American M3 camshafts. America got the E36 M3, but they didn't get the full fat engine that we got. What it was, in fact, was a 328 engine like this with some spicier cams. So you can get American M3 cams, spice this guy up a bit. So these cams, get out of here, mate.
With the top of the engine stripped down, it was time to crack the head bolts off, and that needed to be done in a specific order, which luckily Will made very simple for me.
Will, you have the diagram of what order to take them off in, yes?
Yes, it's all here on the screen.
Great. Tell me where I'm going first, Captain.
1.
Where is that?
11,
That's
9,
don't need that.
3,
Yeah.
and 1. Next up is 3, who is next to 1.
Which way?
Next up is 2, 4, 5, 14, 18, no, 7,
You do have that the right way around, right?
9.
What was that? 10? 11? 12?
That's your lot,
That's it. That's the last one.
probably.
All right, now we start again, please.
What?
I've got to start again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Also, if any of you have kids, feel free to put this on for learning to count with Will. Please, I've had enough of broken cars. Let me just have a win.
Head off, it was the moment of truth, and we immediately made a few interesting discoveries.
Ooh. Oh. Ooh. It's blown a head gasket. It's losing compression. That's what's done it. So let's start at the end. Firstly, this little guy. It's not embedded in the block. It's see-through, but it's kind of breakable in my hand. To be fair, they took the exhaust manifold off and the intake manifold off, so this engine was semi-open to the elements in their garage for a while, so there could be some things in here not from racing. Number 5 is looking absolutely fine. Can't see any issues with that. Now, Ben did say he could see some movement up and down on the side. There is some that's normal. So you see that line going up and down? That is what people refer to as bore scoring. And when you have that, it tends to smoke. Now, the biggest thing with that, if you can feel it with your fingernail, even if it's a small fingernail, that's when you're going to be burning oil and that sort of stuff. So let's feel.
I can't feel.
Safe. Number 4 is looking good. Will, here's your friend that you found.
Who is he?
That's your mate. Oh, there's something here on the end of that. Number 3. Looking fine, can't see anything wrong. Number 2, there you go, you see him down there? That's something that shouldn't be in there. That's something Will picked up on the boroscope. Looks like a piece of rock. And then coming down to number 1, now this is where there is an issue. That gap should not be there. That is a blown head gasket. It is blown in between the cylinders. When this blows out in between there, the compression, when your engine goes to squeeze the air and explode, that would have been rushing from this cylinder into the second cylinder, therefore losing the power that you'd make on that stroke, creating a misfire. That is a very, very good sign for us. In theory, this just needs head gasket slapping back on it and away we go. But those spark plug tips, they didn't just disappear into the ether. We must check the bottom of the head. The part that I'm more worried about, we can find engine blocks for cheap. So if there's anything wrong with it here, tough times.
The underside of the head actually looked pretty good, aside from one tiny mark on a valve.
That might have been contact on something. Still, can't see anything too major looking at that. All of this black stuff that you see around the engine, that's carbon building up. And on cars with direct injection, it's much worse. And they use, what do they use? Walnut shells?
It's a nut blast.
It's a nut
They're
blast.
nut blasted.
You get your engine nut blasted.
And speaking of nut busting, we've got gloves.
Very good, Ben.
Do we have them anywhere?
No, Ben, that's the actual promo.
We have, what do we have? Gloves for nut busting.
There you go, Ben, very good.
Head to topdeadsea.com and buy some.
So that is an extremely expensive head, and you paid
£200.
so basically 10% of what all of this work would actually cost.
Plus the engine. Some of you may be able to get your head port and polishing work done a lot cheaper. I was told that around about £2,000 is what this whole job cost. So I think the next thing we do is we take it to someone who knows more than us, because we're just two idiots. Let's go to someone who knows about this sort of stuff and get them to inspect it and tell us if we got a bargain at 10% the price or if this is still needs further work.
So we headed down to Hack Engineering to get some actual experts to take a closer look at the head.
So we're here at Hack Engineering, and this is Ben, who not only works on these sort of engines every day, but also you're the person that told me about this engine. You're the one that DM'd me. What is the actual story with this engine? So I've explained it a little bit.
So this was in a E36 Coupe rally car, but unfortunately their last stage with it, the engine started misfiring. They were concerned that a spark plug tip had fallen into the cylinder, and at that point, I believe, was when they came to us and decided to have another engine built for the car.
We confirmed when we pulled the spark plugs, number 2 spark plug had one of its tips missing, number 5 had 2 tips missing. Pulled the head off, nothing to be seen, at least from our non-expert eyes. Will and I are no engine builders. Will's reading a magazine right now.
How to build an engine.
So this is the first thing we saw, a hole in the head gasket. So we're hoping that that's all the issue is, but you guys have the facilities to properly check this and tell us if there is any damage or if we should just need to replace a head gasket and go, right?
Yes, indeed, certainly can do. Let's hope for the best.
We wanted to know more about what may have caused the head gasket to blow so badly, so we showed it to Hack Engineering founder Ben to see what he thought had happened.
We're here with second Ben, the founder of Hack Engineering. I think you've heard the story now of how this engine came to be to us, and obviously you're quite familiar with this because you built them the replacement engine for that car. What do you think of the issue we found that we think might be the cause?
I would say that's a new one on me. I've never seen anything do a head gasket quite like that.
What does tend to cause them going in that way between cylinders?
To be honest, usually head lift or something like that.
Okay.
And then you'd get combustion below the cylinder, but that would usually start as a very small kind of thing. So I don't know, obviously they're rallying it, it's being used hard, whether it started to go, they didn't hear any signs of it, and then it went quite spectacularly.
And so the story that they were coming towards the end of the stage and it started misfiring, is it because they're leaking into each cylinder?
Basically, yeah, they're sort of firing combustion pressure across 2 cylinders, which they're not going to be happy about.
We used a boroscope on it and we thought we saw what was the tip of a spark plug, but the tips are
If there was something loose rattling around, you'd expect it to be peppered.
Oh yeah,
I'd
expect it to be destroyed in no time, to be honest. So yeah, strange. We'll actually get it on the strip down bench in a moment, take all the valves out of it, basically give it all a really good check, we'll clean all the valves, and then we'll put it back on this machine and we'll reface it. So you'll soon see where it doesn't clean up is where the head's low or warped or anything like that.
There's still a chance that this engine might not be usable.
Either this will be destroyed or you're one of the luckiest people I've ever met. So.
The Hack Engineering guys got to work disassembling the head by removing the valves and then checking every single tolerance and measurement to make sure there was absolutely no hidden damage.
Right, so Peter's taken apart the head, he's taken all the valves out. He showed us the equipment that he uses. It's pretty specialised stuff. Like, he's working with tiny tolerances, right? Yeah. What's the prognosis?
Pretty bloody good, as the head is here. Strip it down, and then we measure the clearance between the valve guide and the valve itself. If they're too worn, it'll burn up stem seals or have various issues.
If there was a piece of that spark plug had bent, one of the exhaust valves, you would tell by that tolerance.
Yeah, we'd expect
out.
to see something. Yeah, but everything looks really good.
You did mention there is something that's a bit out of the ordinary.
Yeah, it does just look like the exhaust valves have been quite hot, but they've cleaned up all right. No particular damage. We'd expect to see pitting around the sealing face and things like that, but they're good.
That's a big result for me.
So, in some crazy miracle, this engine was looking almost completely unscathed. But to make sure that it really was okay, Hack Engineering's machining expert Peter got to work skimming the head to make sure it was perfectly level and would mount up to the engine block perfectly.
The head was actually already surprisingly level, so once Peter had done his thing with it, Ben reassembled the freshly skimmed head.
So you've just called me in.
All done? It's nice. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Really good.
There was the issue here, but that skimmed quite nicely and easily.
Yeah, that cleaned straight up, which I was a little bit surprised about. Sometimes we see with S54s where they blow cylinder to cylinder, they'll start eating into the head or eating into the block. But yeah, that cleaned straight up. The only weird thing was a bit of distortion around here, almost like it had lifted slightly at the back. But there you go, it's flat now.
Do you think the reason that it cleaned up quite quickly is because it wasn't run for that long when they heard the misfire?
Yeah.
All that's really left to do now is for me to put a head gasket on and put the engine back together.
Everything's been off cleaned. It's got new valve stem seals in it.
That is amazing. Obviously there will be a charge in machining it off the top, but to get this engine for £200 is a deal.
To get a ropey standard one, you'd be doing really well for that money, let alone one that's had all the work this has had in the past and what it's had now.
Let's say you got a call, I've got an engine here that has started misfiring, it's missing spark plug tips. Would you take a chance on it, or would you just say no?
If it were me, I wouldn't go anywhere near it.
So even the experts wouldn't go near it. See, that's why being stupid helps sometimes, because you're willing to have a go. I mean, all that's left to say is thank you very much to Ben at Hack Engineering and the guys. They don't also just build engines. Look, I've bought a whole load of parts from them. They supply all kinds of parts, anything from like OEM bolts up to turbos, upgrades, race engine builds. Thank you very much, Ben.
No problem.
It's a win for me today. All right, let's go. For once in my life, I've been lucky with a car. I'm going to put this together, not fast, it's not going to be in another video anytime soon. If you're a BMW hater, don't worry, you win. We're not going to be putting this on the main channel. I'll be building this on our second channel, so you can follow the progress of that over there.
So if you want to go and watch where we bought drag cars, you can watch that here, and we'll see you next week.